Everyone, how's it going? Today I have a unique money guide for you guys on this week's event. This guide will show you how to make $6 to $7 million a day, but only for the week of 11/20 through 11/26, so make sure you really take advantage of it. This guide can still be used after the event week, but will get you between $4 to $5 million a day instead. In order to do this guide, you need at least 2 other people at the end to sell, but for the most part, you can do it solo. You need the MC businesses, a Terabyte, Import-Export Warehouse, Bunker, and Nightclub if you really want to maximize profit with this guide. So here we go, let's get started. So starting off, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to buy supplies for all of our businesses. So we're buying supplies for the bunker, we're going to want to buy supplies for coke, meth, counterfeit cash, weed, and even a document forgery if you have it. All of the MC businesses this week are double money, where you can really make a ton of money back. Don't worry about buying supplies. As I've said many times, I always buy supplies regardless, even if it's not double money. You're going to make plenty of money back. The reason that we're going to want to buy supplies is because all of these businesses will be producing. They'll all be full on supplies. We won't have to constantly do steel supply missions, and we can do other activities in the meantime, making money. The bunker isn't double money this week, but we're going to still buy supplies for that. We're going to let that produce, and it's going to make us some more money. Also, make sure you guys use a stopwatch, and every 2 to 2.5 hours, come back to these businesses and resupply them. You don't have to resupply the document forgery business a second time, only one time for that. But for all the other businesses like the coke and the meth, that you need to resupply 3 times. For weed and counterfeit cash, you need to resupply it 2 times. Bunker will take the longest of 5 times. So every 2 to 2.5 hours, come back to these businesses and resupply them. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take advantage of our nightclub. Now, all of this that I have here, $926,000, this is produced already in one day. What I do is I set my production to cargo and shipments, pharmaceutical research, South American imports, cash creation, and sporting goods. Those 5 are the best ones to set it to. And what I like to do is before I go to sleep, I always buy supplies for all of my businesses and my bunker, and I also set my nightclub technicians to produce this. And then what I do, I just go AFK on the security cameras. You go AFK on the security cameras and you can be AFK all night and your businesses will be producing. And don't worry, like I've said so many times, don't worry about the consoles overheating. The next gen consoles are meant to stay on for long periods of time. I've left my PS4 on for 4 days once. Nothing happened. If you go AFK on these cameras, it'll be constantly producing. Just make sure you disband your CEO and MC before you do so, because you don't want to be in those, because you could get raided in between. So if you got something to do that day and you can't play but you want to make some money, just go AFK on these security cameras. If you got to go to school, you got to go to work, you got to do something else, you got to do homework, you can't play, even if you got to go to sleep and you want to make some money, you can go AFK on these cameras. Your businesses will produce all day. Just make sure that your supplies are delivered before you go AFK on the security cameras, or else they won't be producing. And if you're on the Xbox, also make sure you turn off your idle options in your settings, because if you have your idle options on, you will be kicked while you're on these cameras. Now, what are we going to do in between while all these businesses are producing? Say that we have time to keep playing. What are we going to do in between? Here's what we're going to do in between. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find a small lobby, a solo public lobby, or a lobby with few people. That works best. I'll explain why it's better to have a few people in a moment here. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do a headhunter first. And I have a friend in my CEO. You could do this by yourself, but if you have a friend, this is a lot easier. So I just have one extra person helping me out. We do the headhunter, we finish it, we get around $20,000. Now here's the part where your friend comes in handy. If you have a friend in your CEO, go to VIP challenges, and you're going to want to go to this one, point to point. Then when you do point to point, mark a random point on your map. You fly over to that random point and you hit it, you get $10,000. Now what you're going to want to do is go to inventory cash, split with members, and you just split it together, 50% each person. Each person gets $5,250 for less than 30 seconds of work. Easy money. Okay, so right after that, a business battle spawns. Business battles, they spawn every 15 minutes if you're in a small lobby like this. If you're in a lobby with at least 3 people, a business battle will spawn. So if you have a business battle, go and do it, pick it up. It'll help fill up your nightclub really quickly, and use your stopwatch, because every 15 minutes they spawn after each one finishes. If you have up to 7 people, if a free mode event spawns, the free mode event, it will interfere with the business battle. So it's best to find a lobby with up to 6 people. Those lobbies work best. So right after that, we're going to want to go to our Terabyte. We go to our Terabyte and we start up this one, Diamond Shopping. And we're going to want to wait till our friend gets over to that area. Stay in the Terabyte. Have your friend go over to that area, because it's a lot easier. Tell your friend to stay in the general area, not right on top of the store, because if they're right on top of the store, it won't work. So they finished it. They delivered the diamonds, $30,000 already. So we're at about $75,000 right now. $55,000 in cash and $20,000 in the bank, because every time you get a business battle, you deliver cargo to your nightclub, plus you get around $20,000 in cash. Right after that, we're going to want to do a sightseer. Do the sightseer, finished it, $21,500, $76,000, $96,000 in total. Okay, so right now the cooldown on point to point should be over. 10 minutes passed. We go down here. Headhunter is ready, but we're going to do point to point first because that's really quick and we can start the cooldown for it. We mark a random location on our map. We fly to it. You can still do this on PC. Just the only difference is on PC you can't split cash. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have one person fly to the destination and keep 10,500, and then the next time you do it, have the second person fly to the destination and keep the full 10,000. It's still pretty much the same thing as splitting it. So right after that, we're going to want to do Headhunter. Headhunter is ready. We start up Headhunter, and we get 20,500 for finishing that Headhunter. Next, we're going to want to go to our Terabyte, and we're going to want to source a top-range car. To source top-range cars, have 10 standard and 10 mid-range cars in your vehicle warehouse, and you'll only source top-range cars. And your associate, it'll increase their pay by $1,000 every 15 minutes for delivering a vehicle, because associates, they get double pay this week. But instead of selling the car right away after we deliver it, we're going to want to go outside of the warehouse, and we're going to want to do a business battle, because another business battle spawned. This is why you want to watch your stopwatch. If you have a stopwatch, every time you finish a business battle, start the stopwatch, because it's 15 minutes after each business battle ends. If there's a free mode event, it'll interfere with the timer. But if there's between 3 to 6 people in that lobby, you'll only have business battles and you'll avoid free mode events. So we delivered that business battle, we got cargo into our nightclub, and we also got $20,000. Right after that, we're going to want to do a sightseer because the cooldown on sightseer is over. We get $22,000, so we have $124,000 in cash right now, and we also have another $40,000 in the bank. So we have about $164,000 right now. Right after that, we're going to want to start up another point-to-point. We hit the drop, split it with our friend. Each person gets $5,250. Right after that, Headhunter's ready. We knock out that Headhunter really quick. Take out all the targets. $20,500, pretty good. So we're up to $190,000 right now. Next, we're going to want to go back to our vehicle warehouse, and this is where we're going to want to source a top-range car, because you're going to want to take advantage of the timers between Sightseer and Headhunter, so you're not going to want to sell the car right away. So after you deliver the car, I recommend doing a CEO work right after that, and then going back and selling the car. So we did the CEO works, we sold the car here, $99,000, little bit of damage along the way, $1,000, but very little. Right after that, we're going to want to go back to our Terabyte, and we're going to want to start up diamond shopping. 30 minutes has passed right now, so start up diamond shopping. Have your friend go over to the area. He went over to the area, picked up the diamonds. $30,000. Look at that. We have $120,000 in the bank, $40,000 from the 2 business battles, plus $80,000 from the import-export. Add that to $180,000 in cash. We're at $300,000 in total right now. We got another business battle spawn. We take care of that, deliver that. We get $20,000. Then we do another point-to-point. Right after we do the point-to-point, we do a Headhunter. And, just keep doing this back-to-back. Do a Headhunter. Then do a point-to-point. Split it with your friend. Then right after that, do a diamond shopping. Then do a sightseer. Then right after the sightseer, do a business battle. After the business battle, source a top-range car, and just keep repeating these steps. Keep going back-to-back. You'll always have something to do. You'll be able to make plenty of money, up to $500,000 per hour doing the strategy. Here we delivered our second top-range car, deliver that to the warehouse, but instead of selling it right away, we're going to do a sightseer because the cooldown on sightseer has ended. You want to watch that cooldown because you can do it right afterwards instantly, and you don't have to wait. We do a point-to-point here. I had a little bit of an accident, crashed into an NPC. NPC ran me over, but here, we're going to want to split with our friend, $5,250 each person. Look at that, $238,000, plus we got all that extra money in the bank. And here, this step you don't really have to do if you don't want to, but if you want to make some extra money in that hour, what you can do is you can sell a car every 48 minutes to Los Santos Customs, and this area right here up north, this is where the nicer cars spawn. This car sells for normally $9,500, got $9,340 for it. So if you want to make some extra money, sell a car every 48 minutes. Then we do a Headhunter, and we finished it. We get $20,500. That's our last Headhunter. Now we go back to our vehicle warehouse, and we're going to sell our second top-range car. We sell that. We get $99,000. Right now, close to an hour has passed, and the last thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do a point-to-point because the cooldown on it has ended. Start that point-to-point. We hit it, $10,500, split it for a friend, $5,250 per person. And you can make $500,000 per hour doing this method. So you're going to want to do this method in between while your businesses are producing. Now, when your businesses are ready, let's move on here and let me show you guys how much money we make from these sales, because you guys are not going to believe this. Let's move on to the sales now. Now we are going to be selling all 5 MC businesses, the bunker and the nightclub. And some people are going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but I recommend selling in a full lobby because you're going to get a huge bonus back. If you find a big lobby like a 30-player lobby that I'm in, you'll get a really big bonus back. The document forgery in this case is selling for $252,000. All these businesses are selling for double. That means that for a 1% bonus, it's going to be an extra $2,520 per player. And if anybody threatens your cargo, you feel like anybody's going to destroy your stuff, just close your application or find a new session and you'll get the majority of the stuff back. You'll only lose a tiny bit. So it's really worth selling in these populated lobbies because you'll get a huge amount of money back. So take a look at this. We sold document forgery, $315,000. Instead of getting $252,000, we got $315,000. Now we're moving on to weed. Weed we're selling right here for $504,000. That's going to be a $5,000 bonus per player. We sell that in a full lobby. Instead of getting $504,000, we got $630,000. We made an extra $126,000, and it's going to keep increasing with each business. So right now, we're moving on to counterfeit cash. Going on the computer here, and we're going to be selling counterfeit cash for $588,000. That's going to be a $5,880 bonus per player. We sell it in a full lobby, $735,000 instead of $588,000. So you see, it's worth selling in these populated lobbies. And like I said, if you feel like anybody's going to destroy your stuff, just find a new session or close your application, and you'll still keep the majority of it, and you can retry another session. Next up, we got the meth business, and we're selling it for $714,000. That's a $7,140 bonus per player, and we got $892,000. Look at that. That's about a $180,000 bonus. Nice. And now we're moving on to the biggest MC business sale, cocaine. We're going to be selling cocaine for $840,000. That's an $8,400 bonus per player. We sell that in the full lobby. Let's see how much we get. $1,050,000. That's a $210,000 bonus, all for just selling in a full 30-player lobby. And again, remember, anybody threatens your stuff, just close your application or find a new session and you're good. So it's really worth selling in these lobbies. But look here, guys, we're not done yet. We still got the bunker and the nightclub to sell. We sell our bunker for $1,039,000. It's a $10,000 bonus per player. And look at that. We got $1,299,000. That's a $260,000 bonus right there. Nice. And now we're going to move on to our final sale, the nightclub. Go on the nightclub computer, $1,200,000. That was all made in one day from going AFK on the security cameras when I went to sleep and then grinding the entire day, doing business battles, a ton of them. Look at that. $1,375,000. We made a $175,000 bonus right there. It's good to sell the nightclub over $1 million because then Tony takes a max of $100,000 cut. So I think you guys are kind of amazed by the amount of money we've made from this. This is my favorite event week this week. Now, let's move on to our calculations and let's go into depth on how much money we've made exactly. And here we come to our calculations. So let's say that we sell one car every 48 minutes. A good car would be around $8,000. Then we do 2 diamond shoppings as we did in the video. We get $30,000 each one. We get $60,000 in total. We steal and sell 2 top range cars. We get $80,000 per car because remember, we're investing $20,000 in each car. So $160,000 in total from that. We do 3 business battles, $20,000 per each business battle. We get $60,000 in the bank, plus we get all that extra cargo so our nightclub fills up faster. We do 4 headhunters. Let's say that we get $20,500 and we would be getting $82,000 in 1 hour. 3 sightseers. We get $22,000 per each sightseer, let's say, $66,000. And we do 6 point-to-points, $5,250 each one. In total, $31,500, and you can easily make $400,000 to $500,000 per hour doing this method. We could have fit in one more sightseer in there, but I pretty much hit the clock for 1 hour there. And in terms of the associate would not be getting money from the top range cars. They wouldn't be getting the $80,000 obviously, but the associates this week, they have double money on their pay. So traditionally, the highest that they could get is $10,000. This week they could get $20,000. So Every 15 minutes, they get $20,000, so $20,000, $40,000, $60,000, $80,000, up to $80,000 extra that hour. So they could still make $400,000 if they help you. And here's our sales. Document forgery, we bought one batch of full supplies, that's $75,000. They sell this week for $252,000 because of the double money on MC businesses. That's $2,520 bonus per player. We sold it for $315,000. Nice bonus there. Weed, we bought two batches of full supplies again, $150,000. Regular selling for $504,000 this week, but we sold it for $630,000. That's a $5,000 bonus per player. Counterfeit cash, we bought two batches of full supplies, $150,000 invested, sells for $588,000 this week. That's a $5,880 bonus per player. We sold it for $735,000 there. Meth, we bought three batches of full supplies, and the same for Coke, but when you buy three batches of full supplies for meth and Coke, that you really need 2.5 batches, so you're still going to have half a batch left for production of your next product. So don't worry, you're still going to have some product left over. And it's selling for $714,000 this week. That's a $7,140 bonus per player. We sold it for $892,000. Nice. Coke, $225,000 invested again. Sells for $840,000 this week. We sold it for $1,050,000. $210,000 bonus. Bunker, we bought full supplies 5 times. That's $375,000. Sells for $1,050,000. We sold it for $1,039,000 in the video, but full sells for $1,050,000. It's needed that small little amount, and you can get up to $1,315,000. I've gotten that before. The Nightclub, we sold it today for $1,200,000, but because of our bonus, we got $1,375,000. Tony, he will take a maximum of $100,000 cut past $1 million, so it's best to sell your nightclub past $1 million. We filled up that nightclub all in one day. I went AFK on the security cameras before I went to sleep. When I woke up, I just started doing business battles. I kept grinding, and we filled it up to $1,200,000. And when one of your businesses is full in the nightclub, like South American Imports, have it start producing organic produce, because then you can start making more money. And then when another one finishes, move on to the document forgery if you have that one, so you can still keep making more money that day from the nightclub. If we add up all of our sales, we get $6,312,500 that we made. And if we subtract it from $1,240,000, that's our investments. That's how much we paid for all the supplies, plus $40,000 from the 2 top range cars that we upgraded. We get a profit of $5,072,000. But if we add up $2 million, that's from $500,000 every hour from the per hour method that we make. Let's say that we do it for 4 hours, we get $7,072,500. Average game time for me is between 4 to 5 hours. So if you play this for 4 hours and you make around $500,000 each hour, you can make an extra $2 million on top of that. Add that up to all your other businesses sold, you can make up to $7 million in that day. So between 6 to 7 million, and hey, you can even go more. You can probably go up to 8 million. If you go for 6 hours, you play for an extra 2 hours, you can go for $8 million. So this is a crazy, crazy money event. So make sure you guys really take advantage of it. Take advantage of those double money on those MC businesses. Really sell them. Take advantage of that percent bonus. Sell them in those populated lobbies. And again, remember what I said. If somebody tries to destroy your stuff, just close your application or find a new session, and you'll still keep the majority of your stuff. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you found this guide helpful, please like it. I would really appreciate that. And if you're new to my channel and you enjoy my content, then subscribe to me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.